Hello everyone. In this short video, I'm going to explain to you what is research and what is a research question. All research starts with questions, right? So when you're a baby, you are going to touch everything, taste it, right? Look around and ask questions. What is this? So all research starts with asking questions. So doing research is no different like a baby asking questions. We have two different types of questions. One type is called descriptive questions, like what is this? What is that? Then you describe it. While the other type of questions, we call them causal questions, like why? What's the reason? Right? What are the effects? What's the cause? What's the outcome? So these kind of questions, then the cause and then the effects, then we call them causal questions. So to be more specific, we all know 5W1H, right? Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Now, generally speaking, when we ask who and where, when, and even what, most likely they are descriptive. Well, if you ask how one thing influences the other, or why, what's the reason behind that, then you are most likely are asking a causal question. The thing is a little bit tricky about the what is you can ask what's the effect of X on Y, right? So then you are actually asking a causal question instead of a descriptive one. But if you are simply say, okay, what is this? What's that? Then this is a descriptive question. So how can we answer these causal descriptive questions? Now, there's two ways to do it. One way is called qualitative research, and the other is called quantitative research. So for qualitative, for instance, you can interview people, ask someone to find out the answers to the question you want to address, right? Or you read other case studies, analysis, understand what, how, and why. Or, but just to be clarified, all right, qualitative research, they can answer both descriptive and causal questions. So do quantitative methods. All right, but for quantitative methods, generally speaking, you are collecting quantitative data, right? Regardless, this is a primary one, which means you are the researcher are going to design how to collect the data, and then you collect them, clean them, analyzing them, present the results. Or you can use someone else's data, that is called secondary data. And then you find the relationship, present the results, right? So most likely, we are going to focus on the descriptive statistics of your data and trying to find the correlation and the causal relations behind certain variables. So let's summarize it. What is research? Start with asking questions. All right, then you research to find the answers. So what research methods can do? Qualitative methods, quantitative methods, mixed methods, what can they do? Because when you really research, right, to find the answers, you need good methods to help you, to facilitate the process, all right, to make it more effective and to find the best answers. So let me give you an example. All right, so when we say, what is a good teacher? Then generally there's two ways to address this question, right? One way is, okay, you say a lot of normative judgments. Say, okay, a good teacher should put students first, or a good teacher should be a role model, right? Or a good teacher should like Confucius, Socrates, things like that, right? But it all starts with should. Well, the other kind of answer is like this. To be a good teacher, you need to know how to allocate your time more effectively, right? Say how many hours you need to spend on teaching, on research, and on service. So you see this difference. When we say a good teacher should put students first, this is a normative statement, right? But when we say how much time being spent on teaching, research, and service, this became an empirical, a positive one, right? An applied one. So there's two different types of answers. One's normative, one's positive. Now for the positive one, you can actually look at the empirical evidence, right? While for the normative one, you are constantly debating without a concrete answer, all right? You can say, okay, there's many criteria for a good teacher. You can debate which one we should prioritize. While for the positive ones, you are going to present, okay, what actually the empirical evidence say about a good teacher, right? So here, for the whole research setting, this is an empirical research, all right? So this class are going to focus on positive, applied, or empirical. So basically, they are the same thing, all right? So we are going to focus on positive, applied, or empirical research in this class. And also, we ask both descriptive and causal questions. All right, we use both qualitative and quantitative methods. If it's possible, we are going to mix them together. Right, so for qualitative research in this class, we are going to focus on case studies and interviews. And then we are also going to focus on how to conduct a content analysis about your textual data. All right, and for the quantitative part, we are going to focus on survey data analysis and the secondary data analysis and an introduction to experimental methods. All right, so the questions for you is to think about what is a good student? How can we measure good? All right, so what kind of performance indicators we can use to measure whether a student is a good one or not? All right, thank you very much. That will be all.